What's up, everybody, and welcome to the HPJP Show, the show where we bring you random topics of discussion for your amusement. And it goes live every other Saturday at youtube.com/HexxedPhenom or on podcast services around the globe, places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, really any podcast service of your choosing. Of course, I'm one of your hosts, Josh, a.k.a. HexxedPhenom, a.k.a. the Sony Jabroni. And of course, I'm joined by the abstract rocker, JP.
Damn right. Damn right.
And today, because we got so much gaming stuff happening in 2020, we just can't seem to catch up. We're going to be talking about our top 3 most anticipated games of 2020. And this is going to be mostly games that we know are coming this year. We have some honorable mentions of games that we were looking forward to that got delayed or whatever. But originally we were going to do top 5. Then we changed it to top 3 because we're kind of running low on time. So I'm going to run through 5 of my honorable mentions here.
I'm actually going to throw my honorable mention just with number 1 because I have no idea what the hell's going on with that.
My honorable mentions are Dying Light 2. I still am extremely hyped for this game, but it got delayed indefinitely, so we don't know if it's coming out this year. I think it still might be, but just in case, honorable mention. We have the Horizon Zero Dawn sequel. Again, rumored to be coming out this year, rumored to be launching with PS5.
Oh, hell yeah.
We're not 100% sure. Resident Evil 3 Remake. This is coming out in February, I think, or March. I'm excited for it. I wouldn't say it's in the top 3. Then we have Ghost of Tsushima. I'm hyped for this game, but I don't know. I'm not super sold on it just yet. It looks awesome, but I'm sure it's going to be great.
We gotta see where it goes, right? And also, we do share a common one that I would add on, but we all know which one that is.
And I guess I didn't think this through. I'm just going to go with...
Oh, never mind. I'm looking at the wrong part of your list. Well, yeah.
I'm looking at...
Crash Bandicoot.
I guess we'll go with the new Crash Bandicoot game as my honorable mention. If it is actually coming out this year, then it probably would be in my top 3 because I'm a Crash Bandicoot fanboy. But we don't really know what's going on with that game just yet. It was rumored to have been announced in December, which we talked about a while ago, and it didn't happen. We're thinking maybe it'll be announced at the PlayStation 5 reveal event, but we're not sure.
Yeah, so, I'm sure it's going to be a great game. I would put that on my honorable mentions just because my top 3, number 1 I have up in the air just because one is fully rumored to come out this year, but who knows, and the other one is definitely coming out, so I'm might as well just put it up there. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you want to start, we could do it, or I could begin.
So I'll start with, and this is going to be weird, but I'll explain it. The Last of Us Part 2. And now this is weird because, well, for most people, this is probably their most anticipated game of the year, or one of them. Which it is for me, too, but the weird thing is that I actually haven't played The Last of Us Part 1.
Oh, wow, what? Whoa.
And I know that's crazy because I'm the Sony Jabroni, and I know that throws my namesake out the window. You guys are probably like, revoke his name, he doesn't deserve it.
He doesn't deserve that.
And I completely agree with you. But somehow I avoided it. I bought it on PS4 a while ago, a couple years ago maybe. And then I just kind of forgot to download it and then forgot that I owned it.
Oh my god, wow.
And
damn.
I played the first 30 minutes of it because a buddy of mine, Junior, tried to get me into it. He's like, oh, you'll love this game. And I played the first 30 minutes of it at his house, I think. And I was like, oh, damn, that's really, this is really good. The first 30 minutes, they reel you in, definitely, into the story. No spoilers.
Just from watching, yeah, they definitely try. They definitely try their best.
And I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then I just never played it. But,
damn.
well, because eventually, I was like, okay, well, it's been this long, and, I recently, a couple months ago, I'd say, maybe around this point last year, I was like, oh shit, I have The Last of Us. And then I was like, well, I've gone this long without playing it, so I want to do something for the YouTube channel for it. And I still don't know exactly what I want to do. I think I want to stream myself playing through it for the first time. But not that I know that I've heard spoilers for the ending of the game, but it doesn't mean anything to me because I have no context for it. Like, I don't know what any of it means. So, like, I can't even remember in my head what it is because my brain's just like, well, that doesn't mean fucking anything to me. So it just filters it out. So I legitimately have no idea what happens in that game other than the first 30 minutes because I played it. But, so at some point, I'm hoping to live stream that at some point this year before The Last of Us Part 2 comes out, which that got delayed recently, too. But
this series of delays has been rough in 2020.
So I think I have until, I think it comes out in May now, The Last of Us 2. But, yeah, so I have until then to play The Last of Us 1. And I'm excited to do that, but The Last of Us 2 looks fucking awesome. Just from the gameplay previews and demos that we've seen, it looks fucking awesome. I'm excited. I know a lot of people love it. I know it's a lot of people's favorite PlayStation game of all time. I know it's a lot of people's favorite PS3 game.
That game really, that game hit hard, man. No doubts on that.
I'm excited for The Last of Us Part 2. I'm excited to play the Part 1 and then Part 2.
Gonna rock it all.
So I'm excited.
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
But, how about you, JP? What's your number 3?
Well, my number 3 is Dying Light 2, which got delayed. It should be out in 2020, though. I can't see why.
We're hoping it'll still come out in 2020.
It hasn't. It's the only game out of the batches that recently happened that don't have a actual
it doesn't have a new release
from
date.
The indefinite hiatus on development, halting, I guess, for whatever they're doing or more time that they're doing.
Yeah.
Who knows what they're actually working on? It could be to make the game even better, which, if that's the case, like a lot of the other games, then hell yeah. And if not, I'm
always down for delaying a game if it's going to make the game better in the end.
Yeah, because it's going to make it better in the end if it's really what we're thinking. But, dude, Dying Light 1 just changed everything. It was the alternative to Dead Island, and ironically, it's the studio that left Dead Island, because Dead Island 2 was dead in the water. Still, many, many, many years later, still dead in the water. And, yeah.
Dead Island 2 is
Dead Island 2 is a disaster, man.
It's like the last Guardian of this generation.
It really is.
Because when the PS3, I don't even think the PS3 was out yet. They announced a game called The Last Guardian. And they were showing it, they showed it like 2 or 3 years in a row at E3, and then they just never talked about it again. And then I think at E3 2015, they showed a new trailer for The Last Guardian, and then it released like the next year on PS4 finally. It was literally in development for like a decade.
Jesus Christ.
So Dead Island 2 is basically that for this generation.
Yeah, Dead Island 2 is essentially that game, and that game's going to be just a flaming pile of shit, I'm sure. I mean, they tried bringing it back, and they tried showing what it looks like, and it was a disaster, but
it's gone through like 4 or 5 different development studios.
Yeah, it's been dropped and remade and dropped. Yeah, it's rough, but Dying Light, on the other hand, took everything that we loved and it made parkour, which who would have thought that would work so well in a zombie apocalypse game and a survival?
I don't know, but it's so fun.
It's so much fun. You could literally just jump around like an idiot for hours to just get your parkour stuff up.
It combines the best part of Dead Island with Mirror's Edge, and it's such a great combination.
Essentially, it's a AAA knock 'em out of the park kind of game, and I can't wait for the second game to come out. And when they announce it, I will definitely be doing that. I'm sure I will be playing that on PS5.
I want to get back into Dying Light because
it's so good. Oh my God. It's so good.
I played a lot of it when it first came out, and then I got what was the expansion called? The Following or whatever.
The Following was something.
I never got to.
I finished it and played it.
I never got to play The Following because when I came back to it,
The Following was so good from what I saw from people though.
Because when I came back to the game, I had accidentally like deleted my save and not uploaded it to the cloud, so I had to start over. And then you have to like, you don't have to be, but I think all the enemies are like level 30 in The Following, so there's like basically no way to do anything if you're not fully leveled up.
Yeah,
and I never got to that point again.
The game itself, though, man, that changed everything, and that's why I'm really stoked for Dying Light 2. It just sucks that it got delayed. Well, like I said, hopefully it's coming out in 2020. I'm sure it is, and I will definitely be playing that on the PS5. So that's why that's my number 3.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh hell yeah!
I'm excited for that game too. Like I said, it would have been in my top 3,
especially
if it didn't
with
get
the branching storylines and how you
that sounds so
change
cool.
the map just like that. It's gonna be so epic. Oh man.
So for me, my next one is a game that people were pretty skeptical on when it first got revealed. I think people are slowly starting to come around on it, and that is Marvel's Avengers. Now, I'm a Marvel shill, okay, I'll admit it. But Marvel's new initiative for their games studio, or whatever you want to call it,
it's
games
working
department.
great.
I mean, they put out Spider-Man, which
Yeah.
is amazing.
Oh my god, that
I've heard good things about Ironman Vr. We talked about its delay in last week's episode of Pizza and Pixels, but I've heard good things about that. I heard that the new Ultimate Alliance was really good on Nintendo Switch, so they have a pretty good track record. So I think that Avengers, while the slice that we saw people weren't too happy about, it's going to be
probably different than that.
not different, but I think it's going to be a good game. I think people are harking on it too harsh, or being too harsh on it, because realistically, all we've seen gameplay wise from that game is like the intro mission. And so I think I don't really even know like what problems people had with the game. I know one of the big ones was people originally when it got revealed, they were like, "Oh, they don't look like the MCU characters." And I'm like, why would you want them to look like the MCU characters? Like, I get it, that's what we're used to, but it's not based on the MCU. So if it's not based on the MCU, what's the point in making them look like the MCU characters?
That name is the way you said that was perfect.
That's pretty much what it was. It was just like,
yeah.
he was like, Captain America doesn't look like Chris Evans, and it's like, who cares? And people were like, their outfits are ugly, and I'm like,
So basically,
cool.
people are just gonna
like, it's a Marvel game. There's gonna be like 40 different costumes for each character, anyways, probably. Like,
I'm sure by the time they get it done, man.
but I don't know. I am a Marvel shill. That's probably mostly why I'm excited. But I don't know. Like, seeing how good Spider-Man was, I think. Now, I'm not saying that I think Avengers is going to be as good as Spider-Man.
Oh man,
Mostly because I think it's hard to compare when you're making a game where you're playing as like 6 different heroes versus one. You know what I mean? Where you have to.
Oh, exactly.
Because with the Avengers, you have to have these 6 different stories that all interweave together, and these 6 different heroes that all have very different power sets, but you still need to be able to play as all of them. And, so you can't go as in-depth with fighting mechanics with 6 characters as you can with 1. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I think it's still going to be a pretty damn good game. And I'm just excited to see, like, the online stuff, because they've been talking about how the online stuff is going to be, like, a live service with, like, constantly adding new characters and new missions and stuff like that. I'm totally down to play, like, an MMO-type
That'd be something.
game with Marvel characters. Because they had, what was it? Marvel Heroes Omega or whatever. That was, like, an MMO. And then it got shut down like a couple years ago. I was like, damn, that was so much fun. And so I'm looking for an itch to be scratched with something like that.
Looking for it to happen, man.
So I'm excited. Like I said, I'm probably just a Marvel shill. I don't care. But I'm excited for Marvel's Avengers. It just got delayed until September 4th, which sucks. My wallet's going to be crying in the fall, but
The patterns of delay are strong.
yeah, my number 2 is Avengers from Crystal Dynamics.
My number 2 is Zombie Army 4 Dead War. Now, I'm not sure if many of you guys have heard of or played the Zombie Army trilogy, but it was 3 giant campaigns and games in one, and it was absolutely incredible just how they took like all the elements of games and survival, and you could tell that they were influenced by Call of Duty Zombies, and they did their own thing with it.
Basically, what Zombie Army Trilogy is, if you guys don't know, is it's Sniper Elite, the Sniper Elite franchise,
Yep.
but with zombies.
But with zombies.
It's literally made by the same people. That's literally what it's meant to be. It's not like a ripoff or something. That's what it is.
Yeah, you could tell like it's been inspired by like Call of Duty Zombies, and it's the Sniper Elite people, as he was saying, and then they add like new things in that you wouldn't see in Sniper Elite, but it has the same flow of things, and I just can't wait for the 4th installment. They randomly came out of the blue with it, which is funny, because about a week before it happened, I'm like, man, Josh, I'm clamoring for another Zombie Army game, and then like a week later, they're like, here it is. I'm like, oh.
I was slowly making my way through the Zombie Army Trilogy,
and
then we stopped game sharing. I couldn't play it anymore.
Dude, like, Zombie Army Trilogy was so good. I was waiting for, like, I think it took 2 years to put it on consoles from the PC. And
yeah, because I think it started as a mod on PC.
Yeah, it started as a mod, and then it became a full thing, and then they made it a game, and it was incredible. And it left me wanting more, and now they're giving it to us. That game has not been delayed, but I'm gonna knock on wood right now because I do not want it to be delayed. It looked pretty good at E3 last year, and I am so stoked. I believe it's coming out in the spring, so that
Seems like a
might be
good
the
time for
first
it.
game that I will probably get. 'Cause, yeah, Zombie Army Trilogy came out in the spring as well. So, yeah, I would put that at number two because they were showing off the game, and man, it totally sold me. They improved all the stuff that was in the original, and they added new things that were definitely inspired by COD Zombies as things started escalating. So, I think it's going to be one hell of a fucking game, and I just can't wait to play it, man. Like, I'm easily just going to be absolutely addicted to this when it comes out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now, that's my number two.
My number one is Cyberpunk 2077 from CD Projekt Red.
Keanu Reeves.
I am genuinely pretty excited for this game, and that's weird for me because I am not typically a fan of CD Projekt Red games. I mean, I'm not really a fan of RPGs all that much in general. And so, like, The Witcher 3, I know a lot of people loved it. I tried to get into it. Personally, it wasn't for me. Although, to be fair, that game I kind of, like, knew I wasn't going to like from the beginning because I'm not the biggest fan of, like, the medieval time period, which is what The Witcher is based in. So for me, Cyberpunk 2077, being in a, cyberpunky future, is a setting I'm more familiar with and more open to. And I don't know, just the idea of like a first-person shooter RPG sounds really cool to me. I think it's an interesting concept. I think what it seems like they're doing with the game is, I don't know, all of it seems cool to me. I don't know. I'm excited. I've gone kind of like media blackout on the game because I don't want to know much about it. I just want to sit down and experience it. Unfortunately, that game got delayed too. So,
yeah, I was gonna say
literally all three of my games got delayed. All three of the games on my list got delayed. But I was actually really mad about this one specifically. Not only because it's my most anticipated game this year, but because it was supposed to come out on my birthday, April 16th. My 21st birthday. So I was planning on doing like not a drunk stream, but like drinking on stream and playing the game. It was gonna be fun, but
I'm sure you could probably do some other game for it though. Spider-Man.
Yeah, but I don't know. Whatever is, I don't know. We'll see if there's like a new game coming out around then. But now it's moved to what we just read the date earlier on Pizza and Pixels. September 20th, somewhere in there, 21st.
I know it's in September.
Like mid to late September now. Which, like I was saying before, my wallet's gonna be crying because
yeah, your wallet's is gonna be obliterated. That's it for September, man.
Not even just September. Like September, I think, as of right now, it's Avengers and Cyberpunk. But then after that, either October or November, we get the PS5. And then whatever the hell games come with that, I'll probably buy a second controller for the PS5.
Go and get that done.
My wallet's gonna fucking hate me. My wallet's gonna be gasping for air.
Could be gasping for air, man.
But, yeah, Cyberpunk, if there's any genre of game I think that could get me into the whole RPG thing, I think it's first-person shooters, because that's probably the genre I play the most of. So, I'm down for a full-on FPS RPG. So, we'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Well, for me, for my number one, I have one that's highly rumored to come out this year, and that is Grand Theft Auto 6. There's many rumors stating that this is going to be a launch title for PlayStation 5. And it makes sense because Rockstar has the ties with Sony, so it's like, okay, it's not too like off the beaten path, but
yeah.
all the leaks seem to be pointing towards it, and ironically, the Grand Theft Auto thing is Grand Theft Auto 3 took 3 years to make, Grand Theft Auto 4 took 4 years, Grand Theft Auto 5 took 5, so Grand Theft Auto 6 in theory takes 6 years that they're trying to do this whole thing, which is strange how that works, but it seems like that's Rockstar.
Technically 6 years would have been 2019, so.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, because it came out September 2013.
Oh, I'm talking like from the next gen like version, like from when they jumped the console.
That would make sense.
No, I'm talking when they hit next gen with it. I don't even knowing that Grand Theft Auto 5 was like released and then 1 year later was like on next gen. Like I don't even count 2013 anymore as the release date. Really, I don't. But going from that, then you're in 2020. Because that's when they formally would have started probably really making it, was when the next-gen stuff happened. And all the hype behind this game and all the rumors just get me so fucking pumped.
Well, I heard a different rumor that apparently the people that own Rockstar, Take-Two Interactive, they apparently are, like, pressuring Rockstar to go back to, like, their more regular development cycle like they had during the PS2, where they were cranking out things like Bully, GTA San Andreas, Vice City, GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas all came out on the PS2, but then they also had Manhunt 2, Bully.
That's another game. I would love to see Manhunt 3.
The Midnight Club games.
Bully 2, I would like to see Midnight Club. I hope they get back to that because I'm kind of tired of just waiting for games.
Because like when you think about it, it's crazy that
they haven't really put out too much.
So they did they did GTA 5 on 2013. Then it was re-released in 2014. And then to 2018 when we got Red Dead.
That was a horrible... man, it's a great game.
So we've had one technical Rockstar game this generation. One new one.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's
yeah.
like,
and even then...
and plus, like, they keep... If they just cycle between GTA and Red Dead, that leaves so many good franchises in the water. Like Max Payne, Bully, Manhunt, Midnight Club.
Oh, God. Manhunt 3's been rumored to be
L.A. Noire.
L.A. Noire. Well, L.A. Noire Studios shut down, so that have to be taken by somebody. But yeah,
I mean, it's still owned by Rockstar, I would assume.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie though, like Manhunt 3 would be incredible to see. Manhunt 3's been rumored to be in development. I think it should come back because nowadays the violence we see anymore is nothing compared to what, like with video games. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be a controversial thing, really.
I just got. This is gonna sound so stupid. I just got an idea for L.A. Noire 2.
What's that?
It's L.A. Noire 2, but instead of being in Los Angeles, it's in Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana.
That's I was thinking that could be another L.A. Noire. You could just do it down in Louisiana, in NOLA, and but yeah, they could do so many new things. But it's crazy just knowing that Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, and that game did not live up to the hype at all. And to this day, I think the online is barely getting by now to what people wanted it to be, which I'm going to get back on it. I still have to play it.
I don't think the game was a disappointment from a campaign perspective, because I know a lot of people loved the campaign. But personally, for me, I played like 10 hours, and I was like, eh.
I don't know. I played 2 hours of it, and like from the mechanics to the like they added so much realism. It's like I
think it's like the version of how like in GTA San Andreas how you had to eat and sleep and work out and stuff. It's like that, but like on steroids. Almost.
Yeah, like that concept was actually fun. In Red Dead Redemption 2, it just seems repetitive. Like
because it's like
the temperature, and then you gotta clean your horse. It's like
you're going into the cold parts of the map, you gotta put on a jacket or you'll die. Yep. Oh, you're going into the warm parts of the map, you gotta take off your jacket or you'll die. You're hungry, you gotta eat or you'll die. You gotta regen your health, well you gotta eat.
You gotta take a shower or else you smell.
Your horse is tired, you gotta give him something to eat. Your horse is dirty, you gotta brush him or he's gonna be fucking slow and be pissed at you. You want to do this mission, you got to go take a shower because you're dirty. No one wants to talk to you. It's like all right. It's like if I wanted to play Life Simulator, I would play Life Simulator.
Yeah, I have to get back and play more Red Dead Redemption 2 now that online's actually salvageable and playable. But Manhunt 3 would be something pretty damn cool to see out of all the series of Bully 2 and L.A. Noire 2 and all that. But GTA 6. Ironically, the newest leak is suggesting that it's Carcer and Vice City. Regardless, it's going to be Vice City. It's either that or Liberty or Carcer. It should be Carcer because it's a new city to go to, and that happened in Manhunt.
Well, I don't know. I think Vice City makes the most sense just because I've been saying it for years that it's GTA VI. That's already there, just right in CE City in like the neon like cursive letters that you would see in Miami.
And that's it. And I think having Carcer City would be cool because Carcer City is where a lot of games are like where they kind of
I could see them doing something like,
so, and they mentioned Carcer City in GTA 5.
I could see the campaign being like mostly Vice City, and then
it's
I
gonna
think
be,
the rumors are so all over the place because I saw a different rumor.
I think the rumor
like
is
earlier a couple weeks ago that it was supposed to be Vice City and Liberty City.
That was the original rumor from years ago. I would love to see that, but we already went to Liberty City technically on next gen kind of hardware from the original game.
Yeah,
so
I don't know.
that's why Vice City's definitely going to happen in it. There's no doubts.
I would definitely like to see like 2 separate maps, and like even with like online, that'd be cool to be able to travel between different maps.
Yeah, the map's like gonna be huge compared to GTA 5.
The rumor I heard,
2 cities, and like if it's Carcer City, that makes perfect sense because people want to actually be in Carcer City. I always wanted to, and they always mention it. GTA 5 even did it, but I heard the rumor that it's in the 70s, which would make sense because they want them to go backwards, and they clearly said it won't be released in the age of, in modern times. So I think 1970s and Carcer and Vice City would be pretty cool with mafia and gang-related stuff.
Well, there was also that...
Awesome.
See, the rumors for GTA 6 are so plentiful that you like... For me, I kind of get them mixed up because it's like... There was rumors for a while, and I've seen like multiple different rumors stating something about that. It's like it'll start off in like the early or like late 70s, early 80s, and then it'll go through to like the mid 90s, and you'll be able to see like the city change as you go, and like buildings
that'd
be under
cool.
construction and then finish construction, or like be ripped down and made a new building.
I think that would be cool if you can go through the eras. Cool. Imagine online if you could pick the eras of the map and the lobby you want.
No, I doubt it. It'll probably just be like how GTA Online was, where it's like specifically set like 6 months before whatever.
So
although technically they already messed that up because I'm pretty sure at least with the casino update, they definitely.
I think they did. I think they finally did, but they were just adding new stuff.
Well. Not just the casino update, but like with the casino heist, Lester definitely talks about stuff that happened in the campaign. So now they're past that point, which I mean makes sense. There's only so much you can cram into that specific period before the game starts.
Only so much you can do, and if that, in theory, if the 90s thing happened, then that I would love to see it in the 90s.
I would think that online would probably be like whatever the campaign gets up to and finishes in or whatever.
I mean, that'd be cool. The online would be the 90s.
Because then it would make sense for all of the different eras of cars that they had in the campaign to be there.
Right. I mean, I think 70s, 80s, and 90s, as long as it's somewhere around there, I'm fine. A modern game, I don't know. I'm kind of tired of playing modern Grand Theft Auto games. Like, I miss Vice City, and I miss like Liberty City Stories, and like going back in time before the original. Back in time just seems like they're gonna go there. But
although I mean,
this game's gonna be incredible regardless when it comes out. You already know it. There's been rumors that it's a 3-month exclusive for PlayStation, which I guess that would make sense if the console comes out in October.
It would make sense,
or November,
but I would.
I don't know. They've done some crazy like the Modern Warfare, the survival mode, it's exclusive for a whole year.
True. I don't know.
So anything could realistically happen, but
I just don't know if Rockstar would. I mean, they'd have to put up like a seriously ballsy amount of money to get that locked down.
I'm sure they would probably do it though, if they're willing to. It's crazy, man. But when this game comes out, it's going to be absolutely incredible. And we know it's fully in development. It was on their tax returns, and everyone already data mined things and saw what's going and the rumors. And so we already know it's coming. Now, will happen in 2020, early 2021. It's on the horizon, but I'd put that number 1 as the rumored game. Now, the game we know is going to come out that I will put at number 1 is Call of Duty Black Ops Origins or Call of Duty Black Ops 5 or Black Ops Rebooted. We already know it's going to be just like the Modern Warfare thing in the Black Ops sense, where it's more of the story you haven't seen, probably the story you know, and some new stuff in the Cold War. We know a lot about that game already from zombies being over the top, apparently, on the new hardware, and that game is going to be incredible, and I will definitely be getting that with the PS5. I don't know. What do you think they could do with Black Ops? See, now we're in the 5th installment of a series that I don't think
it's going to be 2. Black Ops 5. I think they'd be smart to do a Modern Warfare style reboot.
And just call it Black Ops. Or Origins.
It's either going to be just Call of Duty Black Ops, or it's going to be, like you said, Black Ops : something.
I think if they did Black Ops Origins, I think that'd be cool because it's in the Cold War, so clearly you're gonna revitalize the story of Mason and Reznov, and you know, it just makes sense. But I realistically think they should Call of Duty. Realistically, if they want to make this something big, they should have a remaster World at War or something with it, because either that or the game. Well, in theory, Treyarch's doing this year. What does that mean? Infinity Ward's 2021.
I think so.
Or does that mean Treyarch is doing a double duty game with a bunch of studios?
No, there's no way.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it'll be Infinity Ward or unless they
Sledgehammer, if they could salvage it again, maybe.
I doubt it. I think they're gonna have to have all hands on deck to finish up whatever this Black Ops game is.
It's gonna. I'm thinking this game is going to be absolutely incredible. It's just
I'm
kind of
hoping,
weird.
but I don't. The crunch gets me worried.
And the thing that's crazy to me is we're on the 5th Black Ops game. Like, that series should not have gone past the 3rd one. Like, there needs to be new IPs. You know what I'm saying?
See, that's the thing is, like,
Call of Duty.
I was thinking about that too, because it's like, at least with the Modern Warfare thing, while it is like going back to the well, sure, at least it was like the last Modern Warfare was Modern Warfare 3 in 2011. So then they did Ghosts, and then they tried Infinite Warfare. Neither of those worked. Okay, back to the drawing board. Okay, reboot Modern Warfare. It makes sense. We hadn't had a Modern Warfare in 8-9 years. Sure, makes sense. But we just got a Black Ops game last year,
and it really wasn't. It really, honestly, I didn't think.
So to go right from Black Ops 4 into Black Ops reboot, I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way. I would prefer a new franchise, but I think especially with how iffy the development of this game is going, I think they're going to play it safe and be like, hey, let's just do Black Ops something. It already has an established name, an established formula.
Yeah.
Get as many people in as we can.
And I mean, I think as soon as they go back in time and they do a Black Ops, like, re-envisionment, or they just do an origin story with Mason and all, you know, people are going to come back and buy it, because it seems like after Black Ops 2, people really jumped off the wagon, because to tell you the truth, man, it was just like a car coasting with no driver. It was just swerving around, and it crashed into a wall, which was Black Ops 4 with blackout mode.
Well, I mean, granted, like, I guess something could be said about, like, yeah, it makes sense, because it's the end of the generation, and the most consoles have sold. But so, Modern Warfare is the best-selling COD this generation, from COD Ghosts all the way up through Modern Warfare. It's the best-selling COD.
Then it proves that nostalgia sells. So that's why I'm thinking this Black Ops game is... Tell you the truth, this Black Ops game might outsell Modern Warfare. Maybe. Depending on what they do and how they play it, man, because people love Black Ops.
It has the potential, I think, but with people being so burned by Black Ops 4...
It's gonna be,
and it's gonna be an uphill battle for sure. I don't think,
as long as it's back in it's in the Cold War, so I think people are easily gonna just look at it. But if they see like Mason and characters they love, like Hudson, they're probably gonna go. I would buy money for it, even after I got burned by Black Ops 4. Zombies was great, and even then,
I think Zombies for me is the more interesting thing about what they're gonna do with it.
Yeah, Zombies.
The Zombies is like
Zombies kind of.
Well, if they're going for a more gritty, realistic reboot of Black Ops. It also kind of seems...
You got to reboot Zombies in some way.
Well...
You know? But they already did that,
see, like,
so it's...
The thing with Modern Warfare is, like... As much as I appreciate, like, the gritty, like, realistic thing from that, I kind of would prefer that... The campaign can still be gritty and realistic, but I hope that the gunplay is more of the, like... Classic Treyarch style, mostly because I don't think that the slower, more, like... The slowy, more recoily, more like realistic movement and gunplay, I don't think that's gonna work as well in Zombies.
No, yeah, I'm just ready to see like see the thing with Black Ops 4 was Black Ops 4 made so many mistakes, and I think the way that they took Zombies after you could clearly tell they were just out of gas on this game. Like, they just threw remaster after remaster, even though they said originals, and they tried talking about it like, oh, we never said that, and then they rewrote the season pass, and they need to do something incredible for Zombies and something
Black Ops 4 from start to finish, and then through its life cycle, was just a clusterfuck of all clusterfucks.
Yep.
If you have read or kept up with any of that, what went on behind the scenes at Treyarch, at Activision when the game was being made, when it was already released, like the microtransactions, the development studio that was supposed to release a game this year got pulled off the project, and they were like, hey, Treyarch, fuck you, you guys got to put out a new game in a year and a half now. So just from start to end, the game was a fucking disaster.
Like, this is, honestly, I think the only redeeming full-on part about this that anyone could understand is that in rebooting, re-envisioning, and relaunching Black Ops, I think it could be a way to rewrite all the wrongs that they did with 4. And it's very quickly done, yeah, but it's very fresh in people's minds that they got burned. So if they could bring it to the party and, you know, convince people and apologize and show what they have, I think people will just be like, you know what,
I think it'll still sell well. It's outselling Modern Warfare. I'm not so sure about.
We'll have to see. It really just depends. If they
the only thing that I could see that would push those sales a little bit, like more than it would get, is the fact that a lot of people will probably get like the PS4 version than the PS5 version.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. They could really bulk it out, and realistically though, they have to do something incredible, and I'm sure they will if they're going to do the original Black Ops and the Origin thing, because that game was iconic. I love that game. One of my favorite Call of Duties, but even better than World War in my opinion. But man, they could do a lot of crazy things, and I think zombies is where this game is really going to shine, because that's the only original effort going into this game.
Well, I was telling you, and I'm going to stick with this theory until they prove otherwise, so I think it makes the most sense. I think that along with rebooting the campaign, I think they're going to reboot the Ether storyline and just start completely new. Like, in the Origins we thought was like, oh, it's completely new, nothing else before matters, and then of course we learned through Black Ops 3 and 4 that no, it's still connected. I think they're going to do a full-on straight up reboot. This is not connected, it never will be. There's no connection to the previous zombies maps,
because I can't even imagine. They're probably going to have the original.
I think it'll be the original. I think it'll be the original. I think it'll be Dempsey, Nikolai, Richtoff, and Antakio again. And, rebooted versions of their characters.
And if I had to really make a prediction, I feel like we're going to see the Ether, the Chaos, and the Transit crew in the storyline, but I feel like this is the game where they have to put every zombies map that they've had in the game, because people will pay money for that. I would easily
through like DLC packs I could see, but off the bat there's no fucking way.
No, not on disc, but I'm sure this is where the Zombies Chronicles 2 thing is probably going to happen. Because imagine all the maps on a Black Ops Envision game, because technically
on PS5.
Because technically all those maps happened through the Black Ops series, besides the 4 maps from World at War.
Well, the only thing now is, I don't know. I had hope for Black Ops 4 being that game of like having every zombies map in it, because they had said that Black Ops 3, that like at some point during development they had ported all of the Black Ops 3 maps over to the Black Ops 4 engine, and that they were running off the Black Ops 4 engine.
So in theory, they're kind of ready to do it.
Well, the thing is now is that presumably they're using Infinity Ward's new engine that they use for Modern Warfare. So I don't think they'll be able to port it over. They'd have to completely redo the maps.
I'm sure they would probably do it for money, though. I mean, Activision.
Activision will do anything for money.
Activision will do anything for money. I mean, you know. So I think the game's gonna be. I mean, I'm just stoked because I love Black Ops, and it sucks the series went past 3, because that's really where it took the shit. But the third one was very iffy, besides zombies, of course, and the fourth, of course, zombies was the redeeming part. But yeah, I think they could really. I think they can get it back together, and then they could do maybe one last Black Ops game, and not call it Black Ops 6, just call it like Black Ops Endgame or something that ends that series entirely, because, like you were saying, they need new IPs, they need new ideas. I feel like Treyarch at this point is being forced to like circle the drain, and there's nothing left. Like,
yeah,
it's dry, man. The well is dry.
So. It's crazy to think to me that technically, like, World at War is different, but it's still in the Black Ops universe now.
Technically,
they have been working on the same franchise since
2010.
Well, technically 2008 with World at War.
With World at War, but
so the last original game they made was Call of Duty 3.
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't in the Black Ops franchise.
Yeah, because I mean, ironically, this is a pretty good year to do that Black Ops re-envisioned origin story because it came out in 2010, and we're
10 years later.
And 10 years later. It's kind of weird how fate worked that way. It's kind of fun that Sledgehammer and Raven could not make a damn Call of Duty game, but I love World War II, but like, if they can't even make a sequel, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you think they're gonna get cut from the dev cycle, or do you think they're just gonna be a secondhand studio that helps people? Because they can't make their own game unless they're gonna wait another 3 years and make a game again, maybe. But they blew it this time entirely.
I think Sledgehammer deserves at least another shot because World War II had such a basis to be good. It was just the heads of the studio that kind of fucked everything over for everyone. So I think, given the right circumstances, they could make a fantastic game. I think it was just because Raven, they were like co-collaborating with Raven and they couldn't like agree on what they wanted to do, I think was the main problem. So I think Sledgehammer could make a game in a couple years and it could be great. I just worry for the future of the franchise if it goes back to a 2-year cycle. Because I mean, sure, they'll have those studios to come on and help, but that's still just making a ton of people crunch.
If they're gonna do it,
that's too many. What's the quote? Too many hands in the pot, or too many knives in the kitchen, whatever the fuck it is.
Too many hands in the pot. Too many hands in the cookie jar, man. Too many hands in the cookie jar, man. You ain't getting the good stuff. You're getting crumbs. But
yeah, but
I think if Call of Duty, I feel like Call of Duty can go back to a 2-year dev cycle, but they can only do that if the main studio has help and access from secondhand people that are on board to help.
I mean, they have a ton of other support studios. Like, you don't realize it, but like
they have a lot. They really want to make it work.
Not that like every studio is completely like just for Call of Duty, but studios that have helped on Call of Duties previously, they have Neversoft, Raven, High Moon.
Neversoft made, I thought Neversoft made some killer Call of Duty games. I mean, they only were on Ghost, weren't they? I mean, I think Ghost 2 should easily happen in the future. I know that's going off topic.
But I know there's Neversoft, High Moon, Raven, Beanox. I think that, and there's probably other ones that I don't know of, but Toys for Bob, I think, might be the only Activision studio that's never worked on a Call of Duty game because they were doing Skylanders for how long?
Oh god. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Like, I think Black Ops is like the reboot, whatever the hell it's gonna be for the 10-year thing. It's just weird how fate worked out that way, but you know, I think it's a step in the right direction. It's just after they wrap up these 2 final like Black Ops games, because if it goes past 6, dude, it's gone in oblivion. At this point, they might as well just call it Call of Duty Black Ops. We only survive because of zombies. That's practically what the series is about now, is zombies. They should just make a zombies game while they're at it.
As much as I played Black Ops 4 Zombies, I will admit that it's not that great.
No, they
the best maps on that game are the ones that launched with it.
Yep.
And even then, that was only, to me, the only good maps are 9, Classified, and Blood of the Dead. Voyage sucked. Blood of the Dead, or not Blood. Dead of the Night sucked. Fucking, what was after that? Ancient Evil sucked.
Ancient Evil sucked. Then it went to the Nuketown.
Nuketown sucked.
And then there was the high...
and the Call of the Dead sucked.
And then there was...
Tog der Toten or whatever.
And then there was like the worst fucking reboot of the transit characters you could ever imagine, is Taj der Toten. That was just horrible.
It makes no sense to me that the final Ether map ever, as supposedly, you don't even get to play as them.
I don't even know. And the ending was just atrocious. So yeah, I think, honestly, to tell you the truth, I think they should just bring the characters back and not have them prominently in the Black Ops game, but like bring them back on like 1 or 2 maps, and maybe on disc have like 2 maps per crew if they have the time to do it, or 1 per crew, and I don't know.
I wouldn't mind, like...
it's just too many...
I wouldn't mind having new playable characters, but if they're like intrinsically tied somehow to the original characters, you know what I mean? Like maybe if like in cutscenes and stuff, like you get to see like Richtofen and Nikolai and Dempsey and them doing different things and stuff, but you're not like playing as them.
Yeah, like I think it'd be kind of cool.
Like maybe you're like in a group with them or like reporting to them or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool, and Yeah, they're going to have them in the reboot somehow. But yeah, Chaos and the Transit story, I mean, it's going to be pretty cool. And they should put all the maps eventually in the game and yada yada for money. But
Hopefully.
And I think they will if they want to make a good financial move. Because Zombies Chronicles became, like, what,
It was the best. I don't know if it is still now, but it was the best-selling DLC pack of all time on the PlayStation Store.
Yeah, so... Yeah, other than that, I think that wraps up... that wraps up my top 3, and I'm pretty stoked for, like, the next-gen consoles, and
keep in mind, guys,
2020.
These lists will most likely change, especially when we see, like, what kind of games are coming out for PS5 and stuff like that.
Yeah, these are only just projectively what, because, I mean, there's not many games that already... I don't even think there's many games confirmed that are, like, PS5. I mean, you can assume Call of Duty, because that is...
I mean, there's assumptions and stuff, but, like, I think the only real confirmed ones is... I think there's, like, Godfall, which is made by... not BioWare. The people that make Borderlands. Why can't I think of the name? Gearbox. And then I think there's, like, a couple of things that are like, oh, yeah, like, they're delayed till next gen, which I think was, like, Watch Dogs Legion, and some other Ubisoft game. There's, like, leaks about Assassin's Creed. There's leaks about a new Resident Evil. There's leaks about Gran Turismo 7. There's leaks about GTA. There's leaks about Spider-Man. There's leaks about God of War. There's leaks about everything.
There's leaks about everything. So, yeah, PS5 is going to be a good gen.
But
Xbox Series X, you name it. So,
with that being said, guys, let us know what is your most anticipated game of 2020 right now. And we can't wait to see what else comes up in 2020. But until next time, guys, this has been the HPJP Show, the show where myself and JP bring random topics of discussion for your amusement, and it goes live every other Saturday at youtube.com/HexxedPhenom or on podcast services around the globe, places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, really any podcast service of your choosing. And until next time, guys, have a phenomenal day.